We are tracking two winter storms, one of them tracking across the Dakotas now into Minnesota. If you live up there, let us know what you're experiencing. Nearly a foot of snow is possible in a few spots. And then a second winter storm is also in the forecast. So let's take a look. All right, let's begin. As you can see here, I'm calling it, we're tracking two winter storms. I have a spring look here, but let's change it to a winter look. Look at that. So let's take a look at this in our Weather 2020 Intelligence Report. Oh my, you may have seen this chart. It continues. The second latest first snow ever in Denver, Colorado's history is right now, but it keeps adding on. We keep adding to these days. There's still no snow here. There hasn't been one snowflake yet. This could change this weekend. We'll talk about that here in a second. But you can see for Boulder and Golden, Colorado, it already is the latest first snow ever. This is snowpack as of 3 weeks ago. Watch the white. White is snow and yellow is ice. And notice how it expands. See that? It expands southward. In the North Pole region, you can see here's the North Pole. Yellow is ice. Watch the ice expand from November 3rd to now. See that? So there's November 11th and November 25th. So it's now completely, our entire Arctic Ocean is now covered in ice. And this is going to allow all these cold air masses to develop. So watch again, watch down here, the snow expands. All right, if you're brand new, thank you for becoming premium members. We really appreciate you. Thank you for joining Weather 2020. Many of you have been following for 20 plus years and you just became premium members. So we really appreciate it. You're supporting us getting this technology out to the world. The LRC is the centerpiece of the big atmospheric puzzle. Others use these fringe corner pieces. The AO, the Arctic Oscillation, PNA, NAO, MJO, El Nino, La Nina, it's a big player, but it's down here. The biggest piece is ignored because it's hard to understand what's going on. And that's what we're bringing you, the biggest piece of the puzzle. The weather wheel of weather, the roulette wheel of weather has been spinning. It's slowing down. The ball is going to drop into one of these spaces. We know now with high confidence that California will have a rather stormy stretch cycling back through several times this winter. So above average precipitation and storminess in California this winter. Remember that. That's our forecast. That goes against almost every other forecast I've seen. Denver, Colorado is still waiting for their first snow. Arctic air is building up. It is going to blast south. But is it going to blast south? That's a good question. So the LRC is almost set for the entire year ahead. Here is the percentage of average precipitation from October 1st through today. And you can see it's been wet in California and across the Dakotas. And there's another storm right in here that's going to cut into that dry area. And it's been getting a little wetter over Kansas and Missouri, as you can see here. So it's something to monitor. Temperature-wise, the entire nation has been near to above average on temperatures for the first 45, 55 days of this year's pattern. So will this trend continue? Likely, but we're going to get a cold shot in the next 10 days, so we'll see how that goes. All right, here is a day-by-day outlook for the holiday if you're traveling. All right, look at this. 6 p.m. forecast for today, November 25th. You can see there's the snowstorm leaving North Dakota. Very heavy snow, rain changing to snow over the Minneapolis area, and a cold front moving all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Warmer surge with a few showers on the east. So this isn't a major Arctic blast by any means. By Thanksgiving Day, no major travel problems expected. No major travel delays unless you live right near the Great Lakes. Could be some problems there for travel. Some lake effect snow. And south winds returning over the Western Plains. Snow up across western Montana. On Black Friday, a little storm is starting to develop. This is our next storm system. And notice how the south winds return. No major travel delays. So Chicago to New York and Boston and Philadelphia, Miami, Atlanta, through Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and Denver, no problems through Black Friday. By Saturday, a strong storm develops in the middle part of the country. A rain-snow line may be approaching Kansas City, as you can see here. Snow across Nebraska, Iowa, and a rain-snow line racing southeast as the colder air rushes in. So Saturday evening, there could be a little of snow accumulation around Kansas City. We'll watch for that. But a bigger storm is developing and a Canadian blast coming down. Not a true Arctic blast, although it will drop below zero. More on that coming up here in just a second. And you can see here on Sunday, lake effect snow again, but no major travel problems except for New York, Philadelphia, Boston. The storm will be approaching, so there could be some. But for Chicago, maybe Atlanta, some thunderstorms, but maybe a few flight delays on Sunday. So we'll have to watch that closely. Snowfall, it carves out nothing in Kansas City. Unbelievable. And if I would have shown you the map that showed up yesterday, it had 15 inches of snow right through here. So we have to keep watching this. But the latest data shows Kansas City with not much. Most of the snow, Iowa, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. And then some of the mountain areas finally getting hit by a foot of snow or more. Maybe that first snow in Denver in the next 10 days. Here is cold air. It's somewhat Arctic, but it's not like an Arctic blast. It's right over where the snow is forecast to fall. So near zero, where the snow on the ground, to below zero in this area. And you can see this is the forecast for December 1st, right after the holiday weekend. Now watch. By December 5th, the Arctic air is retreated to near the Arctic Circle, right over that ice field, okay? So it's poised and ready. We'll watch very closely because our true Arctic blast may develop. But all the hype, ridiculous amount of hype about sudden stratospheric warming, how we were going to have massive Arctic air for the rest of the winter, is not happening. So the LRC is what they all ignore and do not understand. We'll share more of that with you. The winter forecasts that have come out from other sources, very interesting. Let me walk you through this. This is a seasonal forecast for Southern California. Remember I told you wet here? It's already wrong. It's going to be wet out here. So their forecast comes out before the LRC even sets up. As I always tell you, it's flawed. Any forecast you see before mid-November is just flawed. And so that's going to be wrong. We already know that. And what does this mean anyway? Equal chances. If you're in Kansas or Colorado, equal chances. Okay? And for temperatures, equal chances. But out here, above average, already wrong. Okay? Okay, it's going to be stormier out here. Other forecasts, this one, direct weather, is this a forecast I pulled off the internet? You can see, again, wrong. It's already wrong, at least based on the LRC. And above average temperatures out here, they're doing cookie cutter La Nina type forecasts. Below average precipitation, wrong. No way. You can test us. I'm 99% confident California will have above average precipitation this winter. So all of this is suspect. And what does it mean anyway? It gives you a whole 90-day outlook on one page. Here's one from Winter Highlights from AccuWeather. Cold periods. Well, it's already right. A cold period is coming across Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota right now. What does that mean, cold periods? What does that even mean? If you hear me saying, hey, there's going to be cold periods this winter and this summer, hey, everyone, there's going to be warm, there's going to be hot stretches this summer. Well, duh, that's easy. Some rain on the East Coast, all these things, mainly dry, already wrong. Already wrong out here. It's already wrong because they don't use the LRC. Now, our LRC model, you can have this for yourself. It's a great weather tool. You have all these tools. Not just do you get the United States. Let's zoom into this four-state region in the middle part of the country. Go down to your state level, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, showing near average temperatures this winter expected, through May actually, for Kansas down into Oklahoma, and then above average for most other areas. So there's that. Now we can go down to the counties. Let's go down to the Kansas City area. Watch this. Platte, Clay, Ray, Lafayette, and Jackson counties, 13 to 21 inches of snow forecast, right? Depending on where you live. 13 to 21 inches of snow. That's our winter forecast. Right now, this will update every Saturday night. But you go down to your county, you can get the growing degree days, you can get your forecast day by day, you can go week by week. In fact, it shows a stormier stretch due in near the end of the year and early next year, 2-week stretch. And then 3 or 4 weeks around February, I am expecting a potential for some significant winter weather in this stretch. And then in April, you can plan when you want to plant, which weeks will be dry. And this updates every Saturday night, but it gets consistent. If you're interested, contact Bryce Palmer, Bryce at weather2020.com, or go to weather2020.com. You can see this in your report as well. So there you go. I hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That takes you through day by day. Yes, it's an evolving forecast. The LRC allows us to know what the weather pattern is going to look like 100, 200 days, 300 days, nearly a year in advance. And then when the pattern sets up and it shows an Arctic blast, we know whether it's right or wrong. If it shows a major snowstorm, we give you a good, solid prediction of whether that's potentially right or wrong. We know when the models are right and when they're wrong. Have a great day, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Happy Thanksgiving.